It is I, JJJinks, and I bought a whole bunch of budget knives from Amazon. I kept the price between $10 and $27, and I give my thoughts, concerns, and overall review of these knives after carrying them with me every day for an entire week, so that you don't have to. The important questions are they any good? Do you get your money's worth? Join me in this review series. This is JJJinks Truck Stop Knives! Episode 10, Cool Hand Gear Knife, $12.88. Welcome back. It's been another week and I carried another knife. This week I carried the Cool Hand Gear, what they call simply the pocket folding knife. So what we're looking at here is an overall length of 7.5 inches, 19 centimeters. The blade is 3¼ inches long. That's 8.3 centimeters. It is a reverse Tanto stonewashed blade with Teflon spacers. The handle is 4.4 inches, 11.2 centimeters long. And I couldn't find information about the weight, but I'd say it's somewhere around 4 ounces or 113 grams. The steel is described as 440 stainless, but that's really not enough information. It's 440 A, B, C, F. I mean, there's lots of different ones. So, mystery steel. The scales are G10, which is a fiberglass laminate. The clip is a high ride tip up only. And the mechanism is that it is a liner lock. So, this knife I thought was, like the name says, it was pretty cool. The handle is real grippy, and it's got these interesting grooves cut out into it. I've never really seen anything like that before. And it's kind of neat because it's sort of, if you slide your finger up, it sort of makes a track where it sweeps it out. So I thought that was pretty unique. And even though I picked this sort of dull set of colors, it's like a brown and green kind of crappy look. I don't know. I think it looks better in the photos. But they have other color options available. They have this interesting brown and black look. You could go with a completely black look with a little bit of a different looking blade, but then you lose those interesting grooves. Or you could go with this fancy looking thing, which is $40, but it does have a Damascus VG10 blade, or so they claim. Now, at some point, I just needed to point out that this company makes a lot of knives, and they have this really funky one for $12. The only reason I didn't get it was because it's another Tanto, and I've been kind of doing a lot of those lately. But look at this thing. That is downright zany. I love it. I kind of regret not getting it. I wish they made these in other blade shapes. Anyway, back to this knife. Another thing I like about it is the shape of the handle. You see on the inside here, they have a nice finger groove, and then the rest of the handle sort of tapers a little bit. And that ends up feeling pretty nice in the hand. And my favorite part about this knife is the blade. It's this reverse Tanto with a long belly, which is very reminiscent of the Benchmade Osborne. It's not exactly the same, but it's, kind of close, a little bit wider maybe. So let's talk about what I didn't like about this blade. Well, the pivot came pretty tight. I had trouble flicking it open at first, so I ended up loosening the pivot a little bit. But surprisingly, that did not introduce any blade play, and it didn't change the centering at all. So I think it probably just came from the factory a little too tight. Fortunately, it was easily fixed. On the back of the handle, you got these little protrusions up here. Not really sure what they were going for with that. They're sort of like little horns. And if your hand is the right size, your thumb might ramp up to it nicely, and it would, I don't know, I guess be kind of a nice addition to the ergonomics. But if your hand is on the bigger side, your thumb is going to rest on those horns and just kind of poke into the fleshy part of your thumb, which is not comfortable. I would have preferred if those just weren't really there at all. The pocket clip is real tight. I actually had to like put a shim under there after I got home and put it down just to try to unspring it a little bit, which eventually it kind of did, but I always had trouble getting this into my pocket, and I was always kind of worried about that because I don't want to tear up my pocket. It also has this kind of weird pivot screw. You see these kind of strange proprietary pivot screws here and there. It just means that if you want to dismantle this thing completely, you probably need a special tool to do it, and I don't like that about it. Hard to take apart, weird screw. Overall, my experience with this knife was very positive. I kind of liked it a lot. The blade is the one saving grace about this knife that kind of makes it worth it, in my opinion. I would say if you're interested in getting a Benchmade 940 Osborne, but you're not sure if you're going to like the blade or not, pick up one of these. It's cheap, and it's almost kind of the same blade, and then you can play with it and see if it's your style before making the big investment. One more thing I gotta mention. I forgot about this until I opened the box again. I've seen this, I don't know, 4, 5 times now. It came with one of these friggin' things again. This sheet of micro pack enhanced PE sheet. What is this? I mean, somebody tell me. Join me next week when I carry the Falcon tactical knife.